Hello everyone. Today we would like to introduce you to the solutions proposed by our group for financial services. And this is an overview diagram of our AWS cloud architecture. First, we start from the client, authorize user information and use S3 storage. They use CloudFront for distribution and processing. They manage through CloudFormation and API Gateway automation tools. And finally, they use Kinesis real-time collection is ultimately processed by Lambda. To handle special situations, notification and email functions notify you of possible malfunctions and operating conditions in real time. National business needs to process large amounts of data under certain conditions. So real-time load monitoring is necessary. Since AWS can flexibly call resources, we added CloudWatch events in the VPC for loading monitoring. When large amounts of data are required, more resources are required for data processing. ELB is also how we handle load balancing. At the same time, in order to avoid single point of failure causing website parallels, we use the AZ service to place data in different areas to ensure security and increase fault tolerance. And we also have to add some security features. And then this is an overview of storage services. Let's have a quick look. First, let's talk about Amazon S3. S3 is known for its durability. It supports static ROSes storage and big data workloads, provides us with a reliable object storage solution. The following is about the setting of S3. First, we need to open AWS console, select S3 service, create the buckets, and select the AWS region. We also need to enable ACLS object ownership, select the preferred bucket owner, and unblock all public access options. Then we need to enable bucket versioning and create the bucket. Next, we should upload the file and select Glacier Deep Archive. And last, we also have to configure the bucket policy and finally start recovering the required data. This is all about Amazon S3. And the next is EBS. The service provides block storage, which is ideal for situations where durability and generation performance are required. EBS provides support of mission-critical applications by seamlessly integrating with EC2 instances. EBS grants performance even during the most intensive I/O operations. When we talk about database storage, the combination of RDS and cache becomes an important part of our architecture. Here's how EBS is set up. To set up an EBS volume in AWS, first log into the AWS console, then create the EBS volume. Configure properties such as capacity, type, LPS, encryption, and so on. Then attach the EBS volume to the EC2 instance and format and mount it. Set up permanent mounts and optionally set up automatically snapshots and backup policies to pack my data. And RDS provides services for managing regional database, while cache acts like a reactive caching layer to accelerate the queries, further improving performance and scalability. And this is the step of the setting the RDS. Finally, we cannot ignore DynamoDB. As a fundamental non-circle database, it supports applications that require single millisecond performance. Its serverless nature allows us to scale throughput and storage as needed without having to configure or manage my services.
I will talk about security for AWS. There are 5 parts, as you can see. The first part is WAF, Shell, GuardDuty, CloudWatch, and CloudTrail. So let's talk about the WAF first. WAF service as a critical component of web application security strategy AWS. It provides a means to filter, monitor, and protect applications from a wide range of web-based attacks while ensuring that legitimate traffic is allowed to reach application. So for step 1, create a web ACL. So step 2 is add string matching rules based on enterprise requirement. Step 3 is add rules, add rule groups that's necessary by using AWS managed rules. Step 4 is the finish for the ACL configuration. This is WF, very straightforward. Next part is shells. So the shells primary function is to help safeguard AWS infrastructure and application against the growing threat of DDoS attack, which can disrupt online service by overwhelming them with a flow of traffic from multiple sources. Step 1 is the shell service requires business to subscribe to AWS Shared at once. Step 2 is add protected resources and configure content to be protected. Step 3 is configure AWS SRT support. So if you want shared service, you need to finish the WAF first. Yeah, so this is shell. For AWS GuardDuty, it provides managed threat detection service that enable continuous monitoring of suspicious and malicious activity to help protect the AWS environment. So step 1 is to active Amazon GuardDuty. Step 2 is produce, explore, discovers, and investigate fundamental procedures. Step 3 is configure to export GuardDuty discover result to Amazon S3 bucket. Step 4 is establish GuardDuty detection notification via simple notification service. Yeah. So for CloudWatch, CloudWatch enable get insight into performance, health, and operation status of your AWS infrastructure, application, and workloads. So step 1 is assess the AWS identity and assess management console, navigate to rules in the menu panel and select create rules. When promoted to choose a service that will utilize these rules. Option for EC2 proceeds by selecting next permission. Step 2, select the CloudWatch agent server policy, checkbox from the list of policies, process to click to on the next tag, followed by next review. Step 3 is enter a destination for the rule under rule name, such as CloudWatch agent server rule. It's optional. Furnish a brief description of the rules of the rule. Verify the under policy display CloudWatch agent service policy in per 6 meeting. Step 4 is select correct rules and assign the nearly correct IAM rules to the EC2 instance. Yeah. So next is CloudDuty. This is the last one. So CloudTrail. CloudTrail records all API calls action taken on your AWS resources, creating a detailed event history log that provides insight to who did what, when, and from where within your AWS environment. This trail is great from security, compliance, troubleshooting, and operation analysis. So for this service, step 1 is select the option to create a trail on either the CloudTrail service homepage, trail page, or dashboard page trail section. Step 2, in the trail name field, as a unique name to your trail. Option for AWS organizations, trail default setting for storage location. Select create new S3 bucket. Option to establish a new bucket to disable log file SSE KMS encryption. Select checkbox provide. Step 3 is on the select log event page. Designate the type of event to be logged for this particular trail. It's recommended to maintain the default setting. Step 4 is on the reel and grid page. Carefully examine the parameter you have selected from your trail. Option to add any section that require modification. Once you have satisfied with your choice, proceed to generate your trail by selecting create trail. So this is the security part for AWS.
It's the motion of in our report. I do the network protection part. In this part, we have VPC, subnet, security, route tables, NAT, gateway, and the NetCL. In the VPC is the cloud computing service that allow you created to provide network in a logical, isolated part of the providers in structures. This is our VPC setting. You can see where we created a VPC and how we do that. With a VPC, subnet can be used to divide and management network resources, providing that organization security and efficient IP address management. This is our subnet setting, and you can see this our VPC here, and this we how to set the subnet setting. That's it. A security group is a virtual firewall rule setting use control network traffic arriving at all living or virtual servers. This means they can track and control package flow out of the instance. You can see this our security group, and we sitting here. You can see the inbounds and outbounds. We do HTTP and SSH in here. That's our security group. And each subnet must be associated with a routing table in the VPC. And the routing table controls the subnet routing decisions. A routing table contains a series of rules. Rules that especially the destination of network traffic rules determine how packages are forwarded when leave or arriving a subnet. This is how we do the routing tables here. Yeah. In NAT gateway, a network gateway load instance applied subnet or to send requests to the internet while preventing the internet from directly inefficient connections to the structures. It's a way to provide outbound international and also outbound internet connectivity within a private subnet without scaffolding, network association, and security. This is our NAT gateway. Last is NACL. That in NACL refers to network access control list, which are security features used to provide more generally IP level access control. NACL often used at the subnet level to control traffic and entering and leaving a subnet. Yeah, thank you. This is my part.
Hello everyone, I'm Yunqi. I will introduce the design of the identify and access management in this solution. We use the IAM system in AWS to manage the access of the resource by different users. I will introduce that with the user groups, roles, policies, MFA, and a framework. Firstly, I will introduce the core of the IAM, the user. The user is an individual serving in the AWS environment. Each user has their own password. The different user log into AWS with their own permissions. The role user have the access to permission to the whole project. So for the security, it is recommended to create an IAM management user account with the full access to the IAM system. So if you want to create a new user, you can log into the IAM user UI, click correct, type the name for the user, and choose will not allow access to the control panel, set the password, and if you want to require the user to modify the password on the first login. The next step, you can see the permissions of this user.
we always set is the basic on the user tab. You can see that you can add it to the user group or copy others' user setting or update the policies on this. Here is an example for read-only of the S3 data. Next, check the information and add some labels if you want. When you finish checking, click the create. The next one is the user group. The user group can quickly manage the permission of the large number of the similar user. For example, we want to create the group that can fully access the S3 data. You can log into the IAM's management page and click the create bottle behind the user group. And you can name it for the user group, set the permission policies, and click create as done. You can add the exciting user to the group at this time, and you can add them to the group when you're creating the user later. And of course, you can also manage the exciting user through the group management. It's very useful. The third one is the roles. A role is similar to a user, but it has temporary credentials. Roles can be assigned to a people, an AWS service, or applications, allows them to perform the actions without long-time credentials. The user of the roles can improve security because they do not have the long-time password. As you can see, we create the role. It can be a content, or a service, or other things. After choose the role type, you can assign policy to the role based on their responsibility. For example, I want to set up an AWS account to play a role of the IAM manager. After setting the account, I can select the policy, then check the information, and click create. Similarly, I can change the account by the role later, so that when the management change, the only user account by the role need to be changed. The next one is the policy. This is a tool for funding and management permission in IAM. A company can create the permissions policy and add it to the specific role or user group. You can find the create button behind the policy. Here is an example to set up the policy for read-only with the resource in EC2 and S3. In short, the policy has a direct rules used to control the access rights in AWS, and all permissions assigned to the user groups, and roles are implemented using the policy. In general, the companies do not need to create the policies. The AWS provides many already set policies to use. There is more security than create. The last one is MFA. This can add a layer of the security to the account. Even you lost your password, attacker cannot access your account without an MFA device. This is a higher safety potentials. You can add MFA devices within the user security settings. AWS supports the 3 ways of the security devices, such as application, security key, and token. The different devices are suitable for the different user case. You can choose an MFA device based on the user type. After understanding the 4 types of the IAM in AWS, we can set the personal permissions based on the company's management structure. Different roles have the different levels for the access to data. The top of the level is the role user. It will be the CEO. And the manager level is the next. It's for office manager or technical manager. And the staff will belong to the office manager is the next level. And the data network and system support will belong to the technical manager. And the bottom of the level is the user. It's only read for the data. In the AWS solution design, we discussed 4 concepts of the design thinking, including storage, security, networking, and IAM. Each concept is very important to the overall cloud environment, and by designing this service, we're building a complete AWS environment. That's the end of. Thank you for listening.